Well, hello everybody. This is Julia from Just One More Card, and today I want to show you how you can create a very soft background with distressings, because I've seen a few cards out there using distressings and I needed to use mine again. I'm also using a new stamp and die set by Pretty Pink Posh. It's called Camping Friends, I think, and this is the stamp set. You can see lots of critters, and I fell in love with the tent like pretty much right away. And these are the matching dies. You can easily cut out even the tiniest of these images, even the grass. I'm starting out by counting down inches and creating a frame here. I want to have a panel that has a very crisp edge, a colored panel that has a very crisp edge. So I'm using my tape here to create that frame. I measured everything out so it's even on each side because I just can't eyeball this. And then I'm using these inks here to create my blend. And I am starting out with the lightest one, and then I'm working my way up, and it's kind of useful to know what will happen here. Like, for example, if you blend pink and yellow, you get orange, which is the perfect transition from yellow to pink. So it's kind of important to know how these colors work together. Another important thing is which paper you use. I'm using watercolor paper here, and on watercolor paper it's the easiest thing in the world to blend distressings. I never had much luck with like Neenah cardstock. Never get a smooth blend there, just I can't do it. But using watercolor cardstock just makes it so very easy. Next up, I'm using Perfect Pearls, which I've mixed into water, and it's all in this mini mister. So this will give my panel a nice shine, so I'm spraying this just from the top, giving it a few squeezes. I'm not sure if you can even see that here, right here. There you go. There are 3 squeezes. I dried this with my heat gun, and then I'm very carefully removing the tape. And you can see that I have a panel that has a perfect crisp edge, just absolutely perfect. And you can also see just how nice that blend is. It just looks very natural. There are no hard edges, no problems at all with the watercolor paper. So if you can use watercolor paper for the distressings, it's just so much better. Now for the little fireplace here, I actually used Copic friendly paper, and I'm using my Copics, and I'll be listing the colors in the video description below or on my blog. And I'm just coloring in the flame and the logs here, and I like to use orange and yellow. It's just one of my favorite color combinations, and of course it works perfectly for fire. I'm not worried too much about blending this out because fire is dynamic. There's a lot of a lot of color in the fire, and so it turned out quite well actually. And for the logs, I'm trying not to go too dark because I know that the background should take like center stage. So I try not to do too much of a high contrast coloring here. But I try to give it a nice warm look. And coming in with the lightest color. I even came back in with a darker brown just to accentuate the edges a little bit more because I felt that wasn't enough contrast. So I'm just coming in with this to accentuate this. Then I'm using the matching die, and it's very easy to line up. Like these dies are so perfect that it's very easy to die cut them. Then I decided to use the stamps and the star from the stamp set and heat emboss them onto my background. In retrospect, I shouldn't have done that maybe. The card would have worked very well without it. But at this point, I thought it was a good idea. So I used my embossing buddy to make sure that the embossing powder later will stick only to these areas. I'm using Hero Arts silver embossing powder, and you can see just how easily this can be melted with the heat gun. And then for the sentiment, I'm using one of the sentiments from the stamp set, and I'm using white embossing powder, and this one reads Happy Trails, which I think is just a beautiful sentiment. I'm an outdoorsy person. Well, I would be more of an outdoorsy person if there weren't spiders and stuff, but it's just like I just like happy trails. It's just like, have a good time. It's just absolutely wonderful sentiment. And then I put some foam tape behind my little fireplace here and mounted this right on the edge of my colored panel. And then I grabbed the pewter sequins. The pewter sequins are new. They are on the left, and on the right are the silver ones, and you can see the difference. The pewter are kind of muted silver. They are not that glossy and sparkly, and they are just perfect, for example, for stars, if you want to do stars with them. And I thought, like when you have a campfire going, you often have like those sparkles fly up into the night, and that's that's what those pewter sequins are supposed to be. And I thought that just worked out beautifully. I was really happy about this. Here in the close-up, I hope you can see the sparkle that I added with the perfect pearls on top of my blended background, and also like the nice die cut edge that you get from the matching dies. Here's the entire card from top to bottom, and you can see just how easily it was for me to blend the distressings together on that watercolor paper. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I have 2 more for you. On the left, there's some Copic coloring, especially how to color a night scene. On the right hand side, you can see some coloring with Copic pencils if you want to give that a try. I hope you've enjoyed these tutorials. If you did, please subscribe to my channel or leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. Cheers!